Jagex just dropped a massive blog post where they detail exactly what's going to be coming up in the near future for RuneScape and Dragonwilds. We're going to break this whole thing down right here. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. To start this whole blog off, they go into detail about exactly what their update schedule is going to look like. I want to quickly break this down. They say that in June, they're hoping to launch the first of what they're considering their quarterly updates. These are updates that are going to be coming to the game on a 3-month cycle, and the intention of these quarterly updates is to consistently be working towards what they're calling the major updates, which is what they talk about down here, where they say we're working on a structure of releases that gives our very small team time to focus in on the important stuff. We're currently aiming to have the quarterly updates building towards larger scale major updates. In this case, the larger scale major update, the first one, is going to be update 0.1 Fell Hollow. And they say that they're going to try and get these major updates out every 6 months. So a year's worth of updates in Dragonwilds is going to look like this. You'll have 3 months and then a quarterly update, and then another 3 months where you'll have the big major update, and then 3 months with the quarterly update, and then finishing it off with the last 3 months and the final big major update. And it's really nice to see them be transparent here with how they are planning to deliver content inside of Dragonwilds. But then they go in to talk about all of the stuff that is getting ready to come into the game with the upcoming June quarterly update. We've got magic, we've got building, there's all sorts of things that they really go into detail on here. Let's go ahead and start off with magic, which we all know is coming inside of this update. With that is going to be coming spells and stuff like that. But they're also going to be introducing a whole new type of perk unlock as a part of this update: spell upgrades. They go into more detail on that here in a little bit, but then they give us a showcase of the very first new spell that we will learn, called Surge. This is something that is going to upgrade your dodge ability and turn it into a dash. They go into a little bit more detail about how exactly this is going to work by saying after you cast the Surge spell, you're going to get 3 teleport charges. 1 charge is going to be used until obviously you've run out of all 3, at which point you're then going to have to recast the Surge spell. They then go into talk about these spell upgrades, saying that spell upgrades enhance existing spells, improving their effects, or even adding whole new ones. They say as you gain more levels in the magic skill, you're going to unlock the, quote, after image upgrade for the Surge spell. This after image is going to make it to where you are going to leave behind a ghostly distraction when you dodge for the first time after casting Surge, and this after image is going to cause enemies to attack it for a short period of time. This is actually really cool, and a lot of things could be done with this in order to augment the spells. It'll be interesting to see what sort of stuff they come up with. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any cool ideas for augmented spells inside of Dragonwilds. When magic launches, though, I'm assuming that there's going to be more spells other than just Surge. But when magic does launch, it's also going to come with some craftable and consumable items that you can now make, being the magic focus, which is a craftable consumable that enhances the power of your staff, and then the magic potion, which will temporarily increase your chances of landing critical hits with magic. And then finally, we actually get a little bit more of an insight as to what sort of spells we're going to be looking at, because they say with the introduction of the magic skill line, you're now going to be unlocking abilities and spells in more of a manner that you're familiar with, meaning in more of an RuneScape style manner, starting off with the wind spell, moving into water, earth, fire, and then moving from mind runes into chaos runes, etc. I'm sure they say that this might be a bit jarring because you've grown to have access to all of the spells as of now. However, this is a much needed change. It definitely brings it more in line with RuneScape. Let me know what you guys think about this upcoming magic skill down in the comments. Well, let's go ahead and move on into this next bit of the post here where they talk about what they're doing with the whole building system. In specific, they're talking about what happens when it comes to the raids that happen on your base. They say that they've added 2 new buildable items for us, being the palisade walls as well as the palisade gates. These are going to have 2 tiers, being ash and oak, and it's an extra way to fortify your house, which is going to give you a little bit of extra time to prepare and defend against the raids coming at your base. They do say that this is just the start of where we want base defenses to go, and as they continue developing the system, those cannons we love dropping down inside of Falador so much might have a new home right here in the base defenses in the future, and that would be huge. I wouldn't mind if we were able to get, I didn't even think about the dwarf multi-cannon, man. Let's get the multi-cannon up in here so we can just go set that down outside of our base. Maybe once ranching is in the game, we'll have cows in a pen with a multi-cannon set up in some sort of like auto harvesting fashion, right? Like the possibilities are limitless here. I am really excited for the future development of Dragonwilds, which look nice, but then they move on to talk about a new coziness feature that they're going to be adding to the game, and it's going to make it to where when you are within 20 meters from your currently claimed bed, your hunger, hydration, and fatigue decay is going to be massively reduced. This is nice because you do be burning through food and water like crazy, even when you're just at your base. Most other survival games have this implemented. It's nice to see this getting put in. Speaking of quality of life, they've done a few extra things here, like all of the fuel items have had their burn times adjusted, and they've also made it to where all items that fall are going to fall in one of 4 max stack sizes: 1, 50, 99, or 999. And then finally, the very last thing that we have to go over is the hard difficulty that they're going to be bringing into the game. They say that they're going to be introducing a new mode. This is their first take at creating a distinct mode with permutations to change how you experience the content of Ashenfall. Just as a quick breakdown here, inside of the hard difficulty, thirst, hunger, and fatigue can reduce your health all the way down to 0. Your skill experience beyond your current level is all lost on death. So if you're halfway to level 22 and you die, you're reverted all the way to the start of level 22. You may only have 1 gravestone at a time, and if you die with a gravestone active, your first gravestone is going to be destroyed along with all of the items that it protected. This is insane and would have absolutely killed my run inside of Dragonwilds. On top of that, enemy attacks are going to deal more damage. Enemies are going to have more health. The weaknesses and resistances that those enemies have are going to have stronger effects. It overall just makes it a hard mode. It'll be interesting to see. I like the hard modes. I would like to see a hardcore mode thrown into the game where if you lose, your whole character is just deleted. Back to the main menu. I would like to see something like that in the game. However, with the current state of the game, I would not play a hardcore mode, right? So that being said, that's something that should come in the future. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, not only about that, but about the entirety of this blog post here. But that's all the information I had to break down today. If you made it this far in the video, comment "made it" down below so I can give you an extra shout out. Be sure to hit that like button on your way out. It helps these videos out in the algorithm a ton. But other than that, I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I'm out.